Hi everybody, I'm Tim from troutandfeather.com, and as you can see, we have a special guest tyer. It's Mr. Rich Ferrara. Rich's patterns have been featured in George Daniel's book, Nymph Fishing, and he's going to be sharing one of his patterns with us today. Rich, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, what pattern are you going to be tying, and what can you just briefly tell us about it?
Yep, today we're going to be doing the open wound, and that one is it's a small mayfly imitation. Works really good as a top dropper if you're fishing a 2-nymph rig or something like that. Just simple fly, quick to tie, easy to tie.
Jig nymph?
Jig nymph, yeah. Yep.
I know all of you love those jig nymphs out there.
Yep.
All right, awesome. You want to start tying this one?
Sure.
All right, stay tuned.
So, pattern we have, or that we're going to be doing here, is the open wound. This is a fly that I've been fishing for a few years now. It's I kind of started tying it just out of my kind of hatred for tying the SOS, which is a great fly, and I love that fly, but I hated tying it. So I kind of started playing around with different materials and what they might do, and how to create something that is, I think, has the same trigger points as the SOS, and this is kind of what I landed on. What we have here in the vise is we have a Hanak 480 hook with a tactical fly fisher slotted tungsten bead. It's a 2.3 millimeter.
And what size is the hook?
Oh, this is an 18.
Do you prefer to fish this in smaller sizes?
Yeah. This will be size 20 to 16 is about where I'll fish this fly. Usually, I don't. Once you get bigger than that, I think that it just starts to look funny.
This is a killer-looking fly, though. There's nothing funny about it. Will you just give everyone a 360 of this pattern?
Definitely. So this fly, it's tied in the round. It looks the same from all sides. So no matter which way it's drifting through the water, the fish are going to see it the same way. So it's one of the things I find as almost a necessity anymore. I hardly ever tie a fly that doesn't fish or doesn't drift through the water in the round. So.
Awesome. Well, hey, let's stop teasing everybody. You ready to start tying this one?
Yep.
All right, cool. We'll get a clean hook in the vise and be right back.
Cool.
Rich, it's all you. Show everybody how to tie the open wound.
Okay, so we got the hook in the vise. We got a bead on the hook. We're going to start the thread right behind the bead. Just get a couple wraps on there. Secure that down. Clip that tag off.
Mm-hmm. What kind of thread are you using?
This is a 16-aught Veevus in black. Next thing we're going to do, grab some tailing. This is CDL tailing. This is dark pardo. Going to get 3 or 4 of those. Rip them off of the stem. I'm going to trap these on right behind the bead. And I want to get the tails to be about a hook shank in length.
Okay. Now, I am notorious for tying in long tails.
Okay.
Is that super critical for you, or?
Not really, no. I don't think the fish care too much about that. I think that matters a lot more to us as tyers than it does the fish. But I try to get the tails about a hook shank in length, and I'll just use the empty hook shank there as a measuring gauge. So transfer that measurement into my other hand. And with these slotted tungsten beads, if I'm not putting any lead wraps on the hook, I'll use these to kind of stabilize the bead. Mm-hmm. So wrap those in, trap them down. That'll hold the bead where we want it. Gotta bump those tails back a little bit. Mm-hmm. Looks like it should be okay.
Cool.
Trap those down. Next is copper wire. This is silver, extra small. Tear off a chunk of that.
Yeah. It looks like it's UTC Ultra Wire. Does that sound right?
It is. Tie this in right behind the bead. And then we'll take the thread back. This fly, I like it to be super thin. So I don't do any extra thread wraps than what I need to do. So Got the thread back to kind of where the hook first starts to bend. Bring that back up to the bead. And I'll counter wrap this wire. That trap down, helicopter it off.
Really fine body, very slender. So you like to keep this as slender as possible?
Super thin. Yep, minimal bulk on there. This fly is almost done at this point. The next thing we're going to do is just a teeny tiny bit of red dubbing, and I can't emphasize the smallness of this amount of dubbing. Like, it's got to just be enough to just kind of color the thread a little bit.
Gosh, as Rich is creating this dubbing doodle right now, I watched him take out the amount of dubbing, and it was pitifully minuscule. So you really just put a tiny amount. Is that like a crystal flash style dubbing?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like ice dub. I've experimented with a few different dubbings for this fly, actually, and I've landed on two that I really like. One is the Spirit River UV2 stuff. Okay. It's similar to Hairline's ice dub, but the fibers are really, really long. So, and you're able to rip them off and kind of work with it a little easier. The other one is from Sibai, and it's their flashy, like ice style dubbing, but it's really, really fine. Okay. So it works really well. Not that other dubbings won't work, just these ones I think work the best.
Cool.
And even the small amount that I put on there, I still ripped a little bit of it off.
Jeez.
So we're going to finish the fly now with some squirrel dubbing. This is the Jack Mickievicz dubbing that Competitive Angler sells. I like this for this fly.
Yeah, that stuff dubs on really nice.
It does. It really does. And there's a lot of, squirrel dubbings and stuff like that on the market, but this stuff, it really is better. He does such a good job blending that. And it's a dream to work with it. So the collar for that is loose. I do that on purpose. So it kind of veils back over that red. You can still see the red shine through, but it's not super...
Kind of hits you in the face. It's almost more of a subtleness.
Yep. Whip finish it. Call it a day.
Wow, and that is all there is to this pattern.
That's it. So...
Rich, kill or tie. Now what happens to clean it up?
That's pretty much it. I mean, I'd fish it just like that.
Goes into the box.
Yep.
So everyone who's watching right now, do not worry about making this fly any prettier. Just throw it in your box and it's ready to go.
Yep.
All right, cool. Rich, let's change the camera angle and let's talk a little bit more about this. We'll get into some variations in how you fish it too, okay?
Cool. Sounds good.
Talk about a simple fly, very slender. You made it look easy. It's definitely not an easy tie, but trust me, he is a pro. There is no doubt about it. Rich, nice job. So thank you very much. Yeah. Let's kind of shift gears a little bit. Let's stay on fly tying, but I know so many people out there, they love variations. They love to change it up a little bit. How do you prefer to kind of vary this pattern too?
Yeah, so with this one, I'll do this in like an olive color to imitate, small Baetis nymphs or something like that. And also like a sulfur color too. Brown body, gold wire ribbing, gold bead, yellow instead of red, and then a brown dubbing instead of black. And for the olive one, I'll just do usually a copper bead, copper ribbing.
So you're one of the people like me that match bead with ribbing?
Sometimes,
yeah. Is that an anal thing, or do you think it matters?
I do. I don't know. I feel like we care about it a lot more than the fish do, but I do it a lot. So so in the olive one, we'll do a copper wire, copper bead, orange instead of red, and then just like a natural squirrel dubbing for the behind the bead.
Awesome. Lots of ways to vary this one. I know some of you are thinking about some ideas right now, so just pause the video, share them down in the comments section. I can't wait to kind of see some of your ideas, and I know Rich is going to steal those as well.
I will.
Let's shift gears a little bit. Fly fishing with this. I know it catches fish. It was featured in George's book, which by the way, let's stop for a second.
Sure.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah.
I know it's probably so many fly tiers out there to see their fly somewhere, anywhere. It's just wow. What was it like to know that yours was featured in George's book?
I was really surprised. I never thought I would have got to do anything like that. So thanks, George. Appreciate that. But yeah, no, I was just very, very surprising, and I'm really happy about it. I'm really pleased with it. I think he did a great job with the book in general. It was an awesome book, and just to see my flies with so many other much more talented, better tires is just crazy.
He's very humble. He's an excellent tire. And an awesome book, by the way. I'll put a plug for it, Nymph Fishing by George Daniel. This is not my copy. This is Rich's. I have one as well. It's a great read. It's an easy read, but just packed with information as George Daniel always does.
Yep.
All right, let's get back to fishing with this pattern. Share with people, how do you like to fish with the open wound?
Yeah, so that fly, I think it performs really well as like a top dropper on a 2-nymph rig. Or, you know, if the water's, you know, low, you're fishing, you know, more shallow water, you can fish it as an anchor fly with a lighter fly above it, or just as a single. But I think it performs best as a top dropper on a you know, 2-nymph, you know, competition style rig.
Okay, competition style. We're talking like Euro nymphing.
Yeah, like a Euro nymph. Yeah, yep.
All right,
like
perfect. Now I'm curious. Whenever they take this fly, is it one that will you feel the take, or is it you're looking for something, some indication from your sighter, from where the line goes in? Is this a real subtle take with this pattern?
Boy, that's a tough question, and you know that you know, we could get into a whole thing with that, but I feel like a lot of times I see a lot more of my takes, or at least, you know, it's probably 70-30. I see a lot more of it in the sighter than I feel, but I guess both. You will probably feel some of these as well as see it, you know, translate through the cider as well. So
awesome.
No great answer there.
Perfect.
But yeah,
it's a killer fly. Tie some up, get them in your box. I know they've been working for Rich for a number of years. They will work for all of you too. Rich, thank you again so much. How can people get in contact with you?
If you need to get in contact with me for anything, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. Instagram is at Rich_Ferrara, and my Facebook is just my name.
Perfect. Yeah. I'll put links to both of the methods that you can find Rich down below in the description of this video.
Yep.
And now, if you'd like to watch more videos like this, you can check out my website, which is troutandfeather.com. I'm also found on Facebook and on Instagram, just like Rich. Yep. I'm also trying out Snapchat.
Yeah.
It's okay. Look for us on Instagram and Facebook instead.
Yep.
If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below in the comment section, or you can email me at tcamisa@gmail.com. Thank you, everyone, for watching this. Rich, one more time, thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
You got it. You got it. I'll see all of you next time. Cool.